Please patch the line, please patch the line. Need a 911, can you patch the line?
Yes.
Hi, hope you all are doing well. My name is Saajid, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another, I guess, sort of attempt at making me not sad right now because my life for the past couple weeks has been,
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
It could be better, but making videos and making content for y'all makes me really happy. And we are approaching the last week of September. I have not read a lot of the books that I really wanted to read this month, so I thought that I would use this last week to kind of vlog that experience, but also to do a little bit of vlogging for school because I have a paper that I need to submit hopefully by the end of this week. At this point, I don't know when I'm going to be able to submit it, but I really don't want to be pushing that paper until next week. So I want to submit that paper soon, so I thought that I would kind of vlog myself doing some reading for fun and doing some reading for school as well as finishing that paper. This week, I would like to read 4 books. I don't know if I'll finish all of them, but I'd like to get a good ways through at least all of them. And the first book that I would like to read is one that I have to read for school. That is Far From Mecca, Globalizing the Muslim Caribbean by Aliyah Khan. This is obviously a non-fiction book, and it's like one of the first academic books that I believe deals with the Caribbean Muslim experience. I'm very much looking forward to this. I've already read like the first 6 pages or so, but I've gotten so much information from those 6 pages that is already useful for my thesis. So I'm very much looking forward to finishing up this one and seeing what I get out of it. The next 3 books that I have to read are all science fiction and fantasy, which for me that is revolutionary. This is a moment in history. The first book that I'd like to read is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is a fantasy novel, and it is a retelling, an alternate historical retelling of the Sino-Japanese War, in which we're following this girl named Rin, who is admitted to this very prestigious military school, where she ends up training to become a soldier, and where she discovers magic for the first time. So I'm really looking forward to continuing on with this book. I'm already halfway through, and I'm tabbing it up a lot. I don't usually read fantasy, so what I'm doing is I'm like taking a lot of notes and stuff, and putting a lot of tabs to make sure that I keep up with everything. And it doesn't help that I've been reading this book for a while now. I picked this up in August and I'm still reading it. Love that for me. The next 2 books were actually sent to me by the publisher, the first of which is Axioms End by Lindsay Ellis. This was sent to me by St. Martin's Press in exchange for an honest review, so thank you so much to them for sending this to me. You might recognize the author's name because she has a YouTube channel where she does excellent video essays and analyses of like books and movies and TV shows and tropes and all these different types of things. Really enjoy her content, so when I heard she was coming out with a book, I was super duper excited for it, and I was even more excited when I was reached out to receive a copy for free. So this one, all I know about it is that it's set in 2007 and it imagines a reality where humans make first contact with aliens. So that's interesting. I'm not sure what to expect of this book, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I will be buddy reading this with Mary from My Name is Martinez, so that's going to be a fun time. Really looking forward to reading this book with her. And a huge shout out to Flatiron Books for sending me Mirage by Sumaya Dawood. I have been wanting to read this book for years now, and I'm glad that I'm finally able to do it. This is a mixture of science fiction and fantasy. It's set in a world that is very much inspired by Moroccan and I guess like North African culture. Our main protagonist is kidnapped and is forced to be the body double for the princess of her kingdom, who she bears a very striking resemblance to, and that's pretty much everything I know about it. But it sounds like it's going to be a really good time, so I'm very much looking forward to it. Those are all of the books I'd like to read this week. Today, I'm not sure that I'll be reading anything because I really need to focus on trying to finish up this paper, so I will update you as I read something. And I do have some fun stuff planned to maybe do this week, safely of course, because we're in a pandemic. And that's all for now. I'll see you in the next clip. It is later in the night. It's actually almost midnight, and lizards are making noise. So here's the thing. I was working on my schoolwork, and I was struggling deeply because I have to do this paper, as I said that to do. It's actually a proposal for my first seminar as a master's student. So the proposal is kind of like a summary of your first 4 chapters. I've more or less written my first 4 chapters. I do have like a lot of changes to make. So I was trying to do that, and right now I was in the process of summarizing my lit review because my thoughts were for this proposal part, all I have to do is summarize the literature review that I already wrote. And I'm just sitting down here trying to summarize my lit review, and I realized that I can't do that. I have to basically rewrite my literature review, but like in less words, like in half the words, and I have to restructure my sentencing and my phrasing to make it more appropriate for a proposal. Literally, it's like 50% work and 50% anxiety. Like, that's what being a grad student is. Ugh. It's almost midnight. I have to actually get up early tomorrow because I'm going on a hike with my cousins. So I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'll continue to work on this tomorrow. And maybe before bed, I'll just read a little bit of the Puppy War or something so that I could actually get some reading done tonight. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, don't die. My AC decided that it wanted to sound like a velociraptor today, so if you could hear that, I can't really do anything about that. Okay, so update on schoolwork and reading. Schoolwork, I have no motivation to do schoolwork, y'all. Like, for the entire year, since this pandemic especially, I have just been like, what is school? Who is school? I don't know her. I don't want to have anything to do with her. And in the beginning of the video, I said, I want to submit it by the end of the week. I don't want to have this paper, you know, going for next week. I'll have to submit it next week because I have no self-control. Updates on my reading. I have not touched the Puppy War, like, at all. I haven't read a single page. Actually, that's a lie. I did start part 2 because I finished part 1 and I read, like, the first page and I was like, eh. I think it's because we were introduced to a new character and I just was not really interested. I was like, who is she? We don't know her. I want Rin, you know. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get back Rin in no time, but, like, I was like, I just wasn't really into it, so I think I'm going to hold this off for now. I'm not sure if I'll be finishing this in the vlog anymore. And I don't even think I'll be reading Mirage anymore at this point because I have work to do and I'm trying to read, like, thick adult science fiction and fantasy books. I don't know what's wrong with me. So yeah, I might hopefully I could get back to this one during the weekend, cross fingers. But I don't be surprised if you don't see me talk about this book for the rest of the video. I did make some really good progress though on Axiom's End. I'm about 100 pages into this book and I'm enjoying it a lot, actually. So I've been seeing, like, mixed reviews for this book, but given that I'm not really a huge sci-fi reader, And I don't think this is like my first time reading a story about alien contact. So I think, this being like the first of its kind for me, personally, I think I don't really have anything to compare it to. And I'm like, well, this is the worst. I can't say this is the worst alien contact story ever because I haven't read any other ones besides this. So I'm really enjoying it for what it is right now. It's definitely taken a turn that I didn't expect. I kind of glanced at the summary and I realized that the turn that I didn't think that it would take or that I wasn't expecting is actually in the summary. So this is something that you were supposed to know going into the book, but I didn't know anything going into the book because I didn't read the summary. And I definitely recommend that y'all don't know anything going into it either, because I was like, ooh, okay. Essentially what ended up happening is something that I would have expected to happen closer to the end of the book, or maybe even not until the sequel. But it happened like within the first 100 pages. Like I was like, okay, sis, that was quick. But I'm really enjoying where it's going so far. The story starts smack dab in the middle of the action. It almost feels as though as if the book starts in the middle of the story itself. Like we just get thrown straight into the melee of things, and maybe that's also why the thing that happened so quickly. But I'm really enjoying this book so far. I'm definitely looking forward to finishing it. And I've been watching some more Lindsay Ellis videos, whilst reading this book, and this book is so on brand for her. Like her personality very much shines through in just the tone of this story, and I love that. So if you like her videos, I anticipate that you might really like her book. But yeah, that is where I am in the book right now. Me and Marinette have been doing some discussing about it as well. I think she has to catch up with me a little bit at this point, so I'm looking forward to that and seeing what she thinks of it overall. And yeah, that's all the updates that I could give you all for now. Let us continue with the vlog. I'm gonna put this in my vlog on top of my friend's house. Say hi! Hi, it's Sunday and okay, so yesterday I didn't do any vlogging, as you could see. I just hung out with my friend and I went on top of her house, and that view is very underrated. I really enjoyed spending like the 5 minutes that I spent on top of her house. I have not read any of Axiom's End or The Poppy War since my last update, but instead I started a new book. And no, it's not Mirage. It's not the book I'm supposed to be reading for school. I started like a completely like different book that isn't even science fiction fantasy. I don't know. And also, yes, I got a pimple on my forehead. It's the first pimple I've had in weeks. I'm not happy about it. But yeah, the book I started was Polar Vortex by Shani Mutu. This is her latest book. You might recall I read Serious Moons at Night and Valmiki's Daughter earlier this year, and I'm really starting to enjoy Mutu's work. She's a Trinidadian writer based in Canada. This new book of hers is actually entirely set in Canada, and we're following a Trinidadian main protagonist. Her name is Priya, and she is living with her girlfriend. They're very settled, life is normal and whatnot, and then this person from Priya's past decides to show up and confuse things and sort of disrupt the very quiet normal life that she sort of built for herself in this very small town in Ontario. And the flavor, this is so good. I mean, I don't know what I expected because it's Shani Mutu, right? Like, she could write a 400-page book about Iraq and I would read it because her writing is spectacular. But the story itself is so cool, and it's very different from the other two books. We spent a lot more time in the main character's head, and it's really about just like the complexity of relationships and sexuality and desire, and how all of these things are so nuanced and so much more complicated and so much less rigid than we'd like to think they are. I just, oh my god, I'm loving this book so much. I'm about 100 pages in. There's like 4 parts, and I read the first part. So I'm about a third of the way through, and y'all, I have a feeling this is going to be like one of my new favorites. It's probably heading to be like a 4 or 5 star read, which I expected, because again, it's Shani Mutu, but I'm really, really enjoying this. Can I complain though, that, this book is mass market paperback size? My hand is bigger than this book. That is unacceptable. I am offended, and I would like to speak to the manager. But yeah, otherwise the book is great, and I'm gonna continue reading that today, and I'm gonna try to continue reading Axiom's End too. At this point, I don't think I'll be finishing the Poppy War in this vlog. Hi everybody. Okay, so it's Monday night, and I was going to end the vlog tomorrow actually, but I think I'm gonna end it here because I don't know. I've just gotten to the point where I'm just very dismal right now. I'm really trying to get back into my schoolwork. The past day or so, I've been doing more work. I've been reading more. I've actually been reading from a whole nother book that wasn't the book that I initially planned. But I'm getting work done. I'm making progress, and that's good. Even if it's like a little progress, you know. So I'm going to end the vlog here because I'm just, as I said, in a very dismal state. Um, I'm just I just feel fed up and tired, and honestly, I don't want to vlog this week anymore. I don't want to talk about books in a vlog anymore. Vlogging is not really my thing, but I did all of this footage. I've been editing it over the past week, and I don't want it to waste, so I'm still going to post it, okay? Y'all are going to see my failure for a reading vlog, and y'all are going to leave a like, leave a validating comment, and subscribe. Even though I didn't finish any of the books that I said I was going to read, bitch, I only read from one of the books that I said I was going to read in the beginning of this video, and then I read from another book that I said that I didn't say that I was going to read. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I did something. I read something. I read, 250 pages worth of book. So just to recap, I read about half of The Polar Vortex by Shani Mutu. Excellent. Really, really loving this one. Shani Mutu is a brilliant writer. Highly recommend that y'all pick this one up, even though I ain't done yet. I know is going to be a new favorite. So please read The Polar Vortex. I also read about 100 pages of Axiom's End, which is a book about a girl with daddy issues dealing with an alien invasion. Thank you for tuning into this hot mess failure of a reading vlog. I hope you have a lovely, lovely day, and until next time, inshallah, keep reading.